Week 9 picks. It's all part of a rigged hoax. Don't pay attention to the numbers first. It's all rigged hoax. You see, it's all a rigged mafia hoax where all of these teams are staying in playoff contention. I mean, you can argue that if you're 3-6, that you're still in the playoff field, a game and a half back from 5-5. This is how rigged of a mafia operation the NFL is. Teams are told to literally take games. The Cowboys were told to take their game against the Broncos because you see right here, the Cowboys are not 9-1, they're 7-2. The Cardinals were told to tank their game against the Panthers to not even try. The Cardinals are 8-2, making this an interesting race instead of 9-1. The Raiders were told to take a dive to allow the Chiefs back in the race, to make things interesting for the other teams like the Bengals and the Colts. The Chargers were told to take a stand, lose the game. They're told to stand down. In other words, what you're seeing is not real. It is all part of a fake hoax. And so the fake hoaxes that we have this week is here to keep things super interesting. Remember the Patriots-Rams game where the Patriots are coming off a big win and they lose to the Rams? Familiar territory, a Super Bowl matchup following a big win. It's the no-figure league. It is the Falcons that are going to get the win at home without Tom Brady. The Atlanta Falcons as to matchup 55. The Falcons will stay in the playoff race. Remember the coach was saying that we're building the foundation for something? This is the no-figure league we're talking about, where the Falcons take a stand, they don't even try, and then the next week they try. Maybe they knew they had a Thursday game coming up and they're like, hey, let's get back home, guys. Let's not even try for this one. We're going to be all beat up. So don't be surprised if the Falcons actually go out and play a really good game. The Falcons will be 5-5 when it's all said and done. Well, the Patriots, not quite there yet. Falcons will be 2-3 at home because they're not going up against Tom Brady, and you know that it's Brady that is to matchup 23. So this is indeed a rigged scripted hoax in action, and don't be surprised to see it play out that way. So Falcons win. Then the Ravens and the Bears, this is pretty easy. The Bears are 3-6. The Bears are going to be 3-7 because the game is at Chicago. And the fact that it's Lamar Jackson as Jumanji 37. And I think Lamar, the perfect comeback game, is the Chicago Bears. I think this is the lock of the week. It is risky to go with the running back. The Vikings are my upset pick of the week. The Vikings can keep pace with the Falcons under this scenario. The Vikings would be 5-5 because it's Minneapolis that is Jumanji 55. We can take a closer look into their next game, the Minnesota Vikings. 49ers too. It's Minneapolis and it's 49ers as Jumanji 55. So overall, I think this is a good upset pick. At home, the Packers looking kind of sluggish, so that suggests that the Packers will lose. And how are they going to be before their game against the LA Rams? Again, part of the no-figure league rigged mafia hoax operation. Colts and the Bills. I mean, the Bills, the narrative is that they play nobody good at all. And so, because of that, I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts to win. I'm going to go with the Colts to win. And then it's all good in New England land because the Bills are 6-4 before their game against the New Orleans Saints. So, yep, both teams in the East to lose. And Roger Goodell is he's a very happy camper because this means that the Miami Dolphins are going to beat the Jets because the Jets will be 2-8 before they face off against who's the worst team in the league between the Texans and the Jets. So I was wrong before. The lock of the week is the Titans. I will go with the Lions in an upset. Upset is too much of 18, and no better way to win your first game than versus the Cleveland Clowns. The Clowns can go 3-3 at home. It's Cleveland that is too much of 33. My team has beat the Clowns 5 straight times, so yep, that's completely justified. Detroit Lions will get the win against the battle of the worst of the worst of the worst in the NFL. Washington football team in Carolina got Ron Rivera and Cam Newton. Washington. This game probably has 3-7 written all over it because Carolina and Ron Rivera both have gematria. Rather, Rivera has got gematria 37. So who's to say that the Panthers can't be 5-6 and potentially 5-7? But the Panthers will probably have to win because they've got 2 good games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the beginning of the year. Now, are we going to see Cam Newton in action? So, this is the no-figure league. Actually, if you look at Washington very closely, Buccaneers is too much at 37. So, yep, they will most likely be 4-7 before facing off against the Vegas Raiders. I will go with Derek Carr versus the 38 reference to the championship spell. So I will go with Carolina at home, a homecoming for Cam Newton. This is homecoming month, November. Well, it's past homecoming, but October, November, this is homecoming time. '49ers and the Jags. The Jags can be 2-8 because it is 49ers eyes too much at 28. Who knows? That team is truly lost. This is a game that can very well go the Jaguars' favor. Because when looking at San Francisco, Niners 3-6, they can be 3-7 before the Vikings, and then they can lose to Minnesota. I mean, I wonder if this guy's going to be out the door, Kyle Shanahan, for failing to draft Mac Jones, and he goes in and drafts, what was his name, Lynch? Trey Lance. That's the kid. Okay, that's the kid. Well, anyway, they could have had the Patriots quarterback, but what a joke, right? So, this game is just not going to be all pure numbers. So, gonna have to go with the Jaguars here. They're building something. So, yep, gotta go with that. Gotta go with the Jaguars. It's not looking good for Kyle Shanahan. This one, you gotta ignore the numbers, I think. You gotta go with the narrative of, actually, this quarterback, Lance, is from Minnesota. Don't be surprised if Jimmy G gets benched or something. So, I think the Jaguars will win that game. This Colts-Bills game is a playoff rematch, by the way. The Colts lost, so I think the Colts will turn the favor and win. You talk about narratives. But speak of narratives, I got the Eagles winning their first game at home to end this stretch of games without winning at home. And if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you start to build for the future. And if you're the New Orleans Saints, then you're the Aints. So what would the record be for the Saints ever since that Buccaneers game? That's weird. We had a little narrative going here for the division. Did the Bucs even play this week? Well, that's a Monday game. But yeah, the Buccaneers, well, it's all rigged because Daniel Jones, Jamacha 63. The Bucks are 6-3, so they'll beat the Giants. Tom Brady will probably be 8-3. It's all part of the psyop hoax, anyways. Oh, Tom Brady's gonna go 8-3 in the Super Bowl. So that's where you get the Bucks. So that's where you get the Bucks winning. Yeah, the Big Apple is Jumanji 56, so I can see the Eagles at 5-6. So yep, Saints they need the quarterback. They need the quarterback. They got lucky there. Talk about narratives. This allows the Eagles to stay in the playoff line. The Saints, they can stick around. And all that. They'll be tied with the Vikings if this rigged mafia operation turns out really correct. Cardinals and the Seahawks. It's given Sunday. Blah 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 blah. Cardinals will get the win at Seattle. The Cardinals will be 9-2 when they defeat Russell Wilson. 9-2 for Arizona on the way. A perfect 6-0 away from home, away from Glendale. And the Seahawks are 3-7 for the year, against a team that's trying to win its first championship since the days in Chicago. It is a brutal end to Pete Carroll's career. Also, like we said before, it is Ron Rivera. Is it the end for Ron Rivera? Is it the end for Pete Carroll? It may be even more evident after this past week, after this week when the Cardinals beat the Seahawks. Bengals and the Raiders. The Raiders are told to take the game off. The Raiders are half a game out of first. Well, actually, let's start with the Chiefs game. The Chiefs will be 6-5. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win the game. Dallas Cowboys will be 7-3. The game is on the road. The Cowboys can be 4-1 away, meaning that the Chiefs will lose at home. The Chiefs will be 3-3 at home because Patrick Mahomes is going to have a bad game, and that is Patrick having Gematria 33. And this means that in rigged fashion, it was only 1 week again. The Chiefs lose. The Chargers beat the Steelers to be 6-4 before the game against the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos is Gematria 64. The Raiders get the home win against the Bengals to be 4-2 at home. To be 4-2 in the Super Bowl. The Raiders are 6-4 after the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders and the Chargers are in first place again. Kansas City Chiefs are in third place again. The Dallas Cowboys get the win at 8-2. Going to Dallas here. 8-2. They're playing against the Raiders. Their next game against the Saints. And then that's where we get the win on Thanksgiving for the Vegas Raiders. And these are all my picks for the week. With the look outside the numbers game being the 49ers and the Jaguars, with many nice storylines to set up an interesting playoff hunt, and the news of Baker, Keenum, Lions, loser. This will probably end badly. maybe this is where Baker gets his contract. Is when see how they really do without him. Seems plausible, doesn't it, from the narrative angle?